Hello all. Today we'll be discussing about how to come up with uh, business requirements and functional requirements. We'll also be covering how to come up with used case. So generally, there are cases where the business would come up with use case and the business requirement. In some cases, even the must be business analyst will be doing so. So let's start. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take up a sample application, a sample dashboard. So I'm just going to take up a Power BI banking dashboard and hit images, and then we can select this dashboard for our reference. So now I'm just gonna select this. So what we are doing is we are kind of reverse engineering, meaning let's just assume for reference sake that this donut chart that you see on the screen is yet to be developed, and we are yet to gather requirements for it. Okay, or we are gathering requirements for it, or we finished gathering requirements and we are documenting it as we speak. Let's just make that assumption. Okay, so we are just reverse engineering it, by the way. So I'm just gonna take this donut chart into account, and I've created some documentations in here. So there you go. Okay, so let's take. So we are taking this donut chart into account, and this used case is for that donut chart. So it says the used case says revenue based visualization charts must be in place. That's it. So used case would give brief, compact info about the requirement. And the business requirement would throw some more light. It says something to the effect of JP Morgan Chase. So I just came up with the application name. You could call it something else. So JPC is the name of the application. Okay. So this is a documenting standard. Various organizations follow different standards. So this is something that would be a best practice. Uh, it's best practice to follow standards as much as possible. So this would be more of a very generic standard. So this is the name of the application, the JPC, like I mentioned. So it says JPC shall provide the ability to view the loan purpose revenue based visualization on the customer profitability analysis page. So this talks about the business requirements. Okay. So if I go here, this is the customer profitability analysis page. So that info is given in the business requirement, exactly where they want it, where they want the functionality to be. And it should provide, the JPC application must provide the ability to view loan purpose revenue based visualization. So this is a loan purposed revenue based visualization. Okay, loan purpose revenue generation. So it talks about this donut chart. And then functional requirement 1.1. So just some inside info, just some info on this donut chart. So this donut chart is the loan purpose revenue generation donut chart. It has operating line revenue, refinance revenue, and then there's blank. We can just fill something else in here. So this just shows where the revenue is coming in from, is how I'm understanding it. Okay, I'm able to zoom it. Okay, this is much better. So this just shows where they are getting the revenue from, is how I'm understanding it. So they are from operating line, they are getting some revenue. From refinance, they are getting some revenue. So that's what this is capturing. The functional requirement would throw some more info. It says JPC shall provide the ability to view the loan purpose revenue based visualization on the customer profitability analysis page. This is just a carbon copy of whatever we saw in here, which is best practice to put that in also in the functional requirement. And functional requirement 1.2 would start going deep. It says JPC shall provide the ability to view loan purpose revenue visualization based on the year 2012 on the customer profitability analysis page. So it's talking about other intricacies, like it's talking about this. Okay, for some reason I put 2012, but then it's talking about this filtration mechanism. Okay, if I click on, okay, let me zoom out. Okay, let me zoom out. If I click on uh, if I click on 2014, just notice what's happening in here. It's gonna filter it, right? It's getting filtered. And if I click 2015, it's going to get filtered based on that year. 2016, it's going to get filtered based on that year. Okay, so it's talking about that mechanism, right? So JPC shall provide the ability to view the loan purpose revenue based visualization on the customer profitability analysis page, and the 1.2 says JPC shall provide the ability to view loan purpose revenue visualization based on the year 2012. So it's talking about you going in there and checking on that year, okay? And then when you check that checkbox, all these things happen. So based on that a specific year, you can see the loan purpose revenue visualization. Okay. Something that you would notice in all these content is at any point you don't see any UI terminology. Okay. The reason is until and unless you won't include any UI terminologies in the business requirements document. Okay, in the BRD, you never include any user interface related terminology. Especially this is true when you are coming up with business requirements and functional requirements. Okay. In real time, what you will do is you'll be gathering requirements and then you'll take down notes, and then based on the requirements, based on the discussions, you'll be coming up with the business requirement and the functional requirement. And after the TAs, after the developers, they look into all these functional requirements and the business requirement, they would provide the IT solution. So the developers would contribute, the testers and BAs might also contribute, the project manager might also contribute. The primary contribution will be from the developers. So they'll recommend a UI solution or a IT solution. And then they'll say, let's do a checkbox or a radio button or whatever it is, you know. So you're not supposed to include any UI terminologies here, because if you do include UI terminologies, user interface terminologies like pagination, drop down, what else? Pagination, drop down, radio button, scroll bar. If you include all these UI terminologies, you are kind of committing. Okay, you're giving a commitment which you shouldn't. You're not supposed to. The team as a whole must provide the IT solution, right? So the business requirement and functional requirements will not have any UI terminologies. And this is also talking about the same thing, the 2013 and all that. It's talking about this filtration mechanism, right? So based on this, the entire page is getting filtered, but then we are only gathering requirements for this donut chart. So it's talking about that. Now let's go down. What else is it talking about? JPC shall display operating line revenue in the loan purpose revenue visualization on the customer profitability analysis page. So it talks about JPC shall display operation line revenue in loan purpose revenue visualization customer profitability analysis page. So this is talking about this one. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, here it is. This part. So as you can see, there is no UI terminology. JPC, name of the application, shall display operation line revenue in the loan purpose revenue visualization on the customer profitability analysis page. So this is the name of the page. This is the name of the section. So you can include the name of the section and the name of the page, but you're not supposed to use any UI terminologies. And this is talking about the refinance revenue. This is the name of the section. This is the another segment in that donut chart, refinance revenue. And where is it? This one. So there you go. So this is how you come up with business and functional requirements. So the business requirement would give you a very brief overview of the requirement. The used case would be even more brief. The functional requirements will cover everything. It will go into intricacies on a very functional level. And at any point, you are not supposed to use any UI terminology. This is a very common mistake that's being made when it comes to documentation. So this is something as a BA you need to be aware of. So hope you took something of essence out of this very short presentation, and please do comment below if you have any questions. Feel free to comment below, and if you're looking for any business analyst training also, feel free to comment below or contact me. And have a nice day. Thank you. Thanks for your time.